curious, if you had a magic wand, what would you want in your life? Do you crave that beautiful freedom, the money, the travel, the home that feels like a sanctuary? Maybe you're on a path to just wanting to manifest in really good, uplifting health, mental clarity, and all the good things that come with it. In today's video, what we're going to do is we're going to explore the limiting emotions that are keeping you feeling stuck, why you're tolerating all of the limitations that are currently in your life. And by understanding what your emotions and your intuition is telling you, you now have the choice to shift what's been getting in your way so that you can clear the path to have exactly what you want. This is all about having that nervous system safety, the emotional clarity, and the mental focus to, again, pursue what you want so that the people in your life look to you and like, wow, okay, incredible. So let's get started. Alrighty, let's talk about intuition. Do you trust your intuition? If we were in a group coaching, I would ask you to put in the chat, like, yes, I trust my intuition. No, I don't trust my intuition. Like, yeah, it misfires. Sometimes I trust it. Sometimes it leads me down the wrong path. Now, truth be told, your intuition is your sixth sense. Your intuition is your powerful inner guidance, and it broadcasts like a crystal clear frequency. Your intuition is tuned in, tapped into your higher purpose and your higher self. So its number one job is to get your attention so that it can help you steer your path towards your purpose. However, it is really hard to trust when your mind is focused on fear, obligation, responsibility, all of the heaviness that comes with life. Now, when we think about our mind is always focused on the how. In this world, we are using our five senses to see, hear, taste, touch, feel into this reality. So its job, the mind, will take in the sensory experience of reality. And then what it does is it interprets, okay, what do I need to do? How do I navigate life? And of course, if life is being hard with you at the moment, driving up that anxiety, your mind worrying about the worst case scenario, there's a lot of noise and interference that stops you from being able to listen in and trust your intuition. A lot of this comes back to childhood, where you were born with pure intuition, free to have what you want, free to know, like, yes, when I cry, people tend to me, I get my needs met. And yet over time, people have taught you how to survive in this world. There's all of these shoulds and performing and masking and have good manners and all of the things. And so over time, the ego that really wants to ensure your survival starts to build, and it can take over your intuitive response, because the intuition is quite gentle in the way that it wants to communicate with you, whereas the ego will be very, very loud and dominant in the way that to know that this is what's worked in the past, so don't try the new unfamiliar thing out there. So this is where we get that confusion when it comes to listening to your intuition versus your ego. Now, if your intuition has been dialed down, it's not gone. But what's happened is it's sort of wrapped in all of these layers where, again, that ego has taken over, and the ego is bringing in all of the shoulds, keeping you small, keeping you in the old patterns of what you've done, again, that's worked in the past. So your intuition is there. However, there's so much noise making it really difficult to follow and listen to. So it will sit there like a butterfly in a cocoon, waiting for that moment where there's spaciousness, the safety, the self-permission to emerge. This is often why we have those brilliant ideas, like when we're in the shower or going for a bit of a drive or in that meditative state or gardening or whatever you do, where you just let go of the noise and the shoulds and the to-do lists and everything that goes with it, and just give yourself the quietness, that creative space to connect into your higher self. And this is that key of understanding, okay, yes, the intuition is there, it will guide us, but we also need to meet it halfway. The thing is, when you're really, really clear on what you want and your goals are non-negotiable, you are willing to pursue what you want, your intuition becomes a lot easier to work with. I don't know about you, but if I've ever been stressed on the freeway and like, oh gosh, do I turn off on this lane or like, where am I going? I'm now in a bit of a frantic state. My mind is now like in a bit of a hustle space. And so I may think that my intuition has said, yes, pull off here. I'm like, oh gosh, that didn't work. Now I'm lost. I was like, no, you weren't really listening to your intuition. You were tapping into your ego. The intuition would have been telling you to breathe, relax, there's no rush. We've got this. If you make the wrong turn, all good, we'll get back on track. And so this is the difference here. When you know what you want, calm, centered, and know how to tap into your intuition, it is really easy to now navigate the relationship with your intuition because you're asking your intuition better questions. For instance, you'll be asking your intuition, okay, well, this decision, if I do this, will it create more of that excitement, more of what I want? And you'll get that feeling, right? Of like there'll be this lightness of like, yeah, if I do this decision, like, yeah, it feels expansive, it feels exciting. Versus, okay, if I do this and it's a no, be like, oh, okay, not yet. So we start to have a bit of a dynamic in the way that it starts to communicate. Now, this is when I'm working with clients, I will always tell them to trust the first thing that comes to mind when they're communicating with their intuition, because the intuition is so impulsively like working at the speed of light compared to the mind that will sift through all of the different filters. Your intuition is like, this is the this is what you need to know. But of course, as I said, the ego gets so much stronger and louder, like, okay, that was more dominant, so I'll do what the ego says. And we misinterpret it and we mislabel it for intuition. So either way, when you're connecting in with your intuition, manifesting what you want, asking your intuition, okay, if I decide this, will it create even greater? And you get that feeling like, yep. Now, sometimes the no's can also be not now. It can come up with a bit of a limiting decision saying, I want that. Yes, it's okay to want that. But there's this fear getting in the way. So it's like flipping a coin and saying, okay, if I do this and pursue this path A, I'll get heads. And then if I get B or if I get tails, I'll pursue option B. And then when you flip that coin and you get one answer or the other, your body and your intuition will like, oh yeah, yes, I do want this. Versus if you got the other answer, you got the tails, it's like plan B, like, oh, actually, no, I don't. You kind of get that same intuitive response. So we're not relying on like what the coin says, but we're relying on how your body responds to that. And if you start to say, oh, yes, like flip it, yes, get the A, get the heads, yes, I want to do this, but there is a fear of being judged. I want to do this, but there is a fear of being seen, or I want this, and yet there's imposter syndrome coming up. This is the not now piece. This is saying, okay, we need to shift that belief. You've got the desire for a reason. Your intuition wants to help you elevate your energy. And now it's also going to help you light up where your limitations are. Now, when we're talking about manifesting and listening to your intuition, there's the common way to manifest and listen to your intuition that will lead you to burnout. And there's also the aligned way to manifest that will get you to fall in love with your life. The aligned way is actually to start within that heart space, connecting into that feminine center there, place here that welcomes impossibility, wonder, intuition. This is where desires are absolutely born from, free from limitation and open to all possibilities. So when you think about that magic wand scenario about what you truly want, there's like, okay, heart space, connecting in and wondering how can life get any better? What would my home be like if it was a sanctuary? What's the type of car that I want? What's the type of travel that I want to adventure to? What's the type of career that I want or the clients that I want? And your heart space here will start to generate really harmonious experiences and open you to your higher self, your intuition and the possibilities. This is like that dreams starting to come into reality. Then we now take that beautiful dream, like wanting your home to be a sanctuary, and we move that up to the mind. Now, the mind is that place of the logic and the how to and the criteria and the data and the facts and everything there that goes with it. And so when we say, okay, I want to have this home, like that's a sanctuary, I now bring it to my mind, and the mind's like, okay, to be able to make it a sanctuary, I now have a bit of a to-do list. I've got to clean up, I need to renovate, I need to buy that new thing or whatever it is. The mind will now start to bring in the how. And I could have used an example of like business, like, yes, I have my beautiful healing business, I serve women. And then the mind says, okay, how are we going to do this? Well, I need to market, I need to get coaching, I need to whatever. So there's different areas of your body that tap into your intuition and your manifesting. And when you use the tools for the way that they worked, you get results. Now, finally, we bring your manifestation and your intuition and the ideas that you want from your mind into your gut. So this is often when we hear people say, oh, you've got to trust your gut. Your gut will tell you if it is time to take action or not quite yet. Let's just pause, not happening yet. Not because the timing's not right, but it's all about just waiting for things to shift and adjust so that it lines up to match exactly what you want. So we bring the manifestation, the sanctuary of home in the heart space up to the mind. This is the to-do list. And now the gut will tell you whether or not to take action, to open the doors, to call the tradespeople, to go buy that thing. And in fact, if you're following that path, you often find that, okay, I need new curtains or whatever. And they happen to be on sale, the exact ones that you wanted. You got the impulse, like, yes, this is time to take action. So this is the framework that will always, always create that aligned manifestation free from burnout. If you want to do burnout, do manifesting in the modern way that we're seeing on social media. This is how they're doing it, that's creating hustle and burnout. If you're manifesting from your mind, then your mind is going to get stuck in scarcity. How? Hustle, exhaustion, checking in on external validation. What do you think? What do you think? Adjusting the plans. Everything is like, trying to get everything perfect, avoiding judgment, avoiding shame, all of the things. So it's a real motivation away from scarcity and lack instead of being a motivation towards creating what you want. So this is the map that will actually drop your energy. If you're thinking about, okay, I'm in survival mode right now, I need more money, how am I going to do that? And then you start taking action from that hustle and that fear, hard work. You may get results, but you're also on the path of burnout. Whereas if you had checked in with your heart space first, this is actually, the way that I want to manifest and create abundance and money, then pursue that, you will get so many bigger, satisfying results than your mind could ever, ever allow. So if you have your manifestation list or a vision wall, then I invite you to review it. I invite you to review, are those things matching up with your heart space in alignment to what you want to create? Or is this shaped by your mind because you should? For me, I had on my vision wall for so long about traveling to a particular place in Europe because I thought I should. I should want to go to Europe because that's where the family heritage is from. That's something that I should want to know about. I should want to know about history. And then when I looked at it, it was like, nah, I don't want to go where it's cold. I actually don't even want to travel to explore history of how people survived. I want to go to a place that lights me up, that dials up my curiosity. And yeah, so what if I'm not being able to tend to family conversations at Christmas about, everyone's experience of that particular place? It was like, hey, let me tell you about this incredible paradise that I journeyed to. So it's as simple as that. It's as simple as checking in. Is your manifestations and your goals what you want or what you think you should want? Your heart will lift up your energy, your mind will help you create the focus, and then the gut will guide you towards the thing that you say that you want to create. You have your intuition for a reason, and you have the things that you want for a reason. Metaphorically, your intuition, if it knows that your purpose is to be on stage in the spotlight, it will be guiding and directing you towards creating that. Whereas your ego will want to keep you small and not on that stage of life. Your intuition is asking you to resolve and dissolve the resistance, the limitations, the fear, the obligations, the shoulds. Your intuition is requiring you to resolve any of that heavy energy so that you can meet your intuition with that high vibe state. This is incredibly important when it comes to doing that inner work, because when you start to resolve that, then you start to step into more of that truest aligned version of you. So, while you're on your path, when you know what you want, trusting your intuition, like, oh, doubt can creep in. And there's some strategies you can do to avoid that doubt so your energy doesn't get pulled down. Because often when it comes to manifesting, your energy will change. You shift your beliefs and shift the limiting beliefs, the limiting emotions. There's a whole chemical reaction within your body. You're no longer creating the stress hormones and everything that goes with it. So your body is now having a bit of a detox. You may find yourself crying to release all of the old ways. And now there's space for you to create what you want and to feel good. And like, oh, you know, feel as good as driving in your car with your music up. Like, oh, wow, like this has been so unfamiliar for so long. So as you start to resolve and dissolve any of those limitations, it takes time for 3D world to materialize and catch up to the changes that you've created because you've shifted the belief. You're now changing how you approach things. And the people that you're used to dancing life with are not used to that. So time does take a bit to catch up. So if you're in between shifting your limitations and getting the thing that you want, reassure yourself that life is like a game of chess and that your guides, your team, are moving the pieces behind the scene. So that move is really clear. Now, you can ask for signs if you're starting to doubt yourself. In group training here or group coaching, we're playing in the space here of checking in what's everybody else's signs, what numbers are they seeing. You can ask for confirmation. If I'm on the right path, show me a white feather, show me a ladybird, show me that I'm not alone, show me a blue wren. Now, yes, I'm dancing the dance with the universe and manifesting, but I'm also receiving support. So I know that when I'm talking to the spirit world, like Nanny, we're on the right track, right? Like this is the right thing. I will see blue wrens. I will see everything that lifts me up to how she made me feel special. Like, yes, we're on the right path. You can also ask for a song, and that one may seem a little bit like complex. But if you set the intention that, okay, like I need a sign, I need to hear that song, that George Michael song, show me a song that reminds me, like, yes, you're in the groove, you're flawless, trust what you need to be doing. Listen out for the song, but don't put on the expectation that it has to come through the radio or even your playlist. It can come through Instagram where you're seeing other people have used that song or those lyrics. It's looking out for the unexpected. When you hear that song or you see that sign, your intuition, your higher self is lighting up to interrupt that doubt. It is reminding you of your worth and your path, like, yep, just keep going. And then to consider, what is your manifesting song that keeps you on track? I'm being cheeky here because I was named after the Gilbert O'Sullivan song Claire. So yeah, this is the one that keeps me on track. And you know those times when you're seeing the numbers like 111, you're like, oh my gosh, the universe is talking to me. What do I need to know? That 111 is quite fascinating. The 111 is telling you that there's spiritual awakening happening where it is inviting you to question your reality, question and interrupt why you're doing the 9 to 5, why you're overthinking, what are the conditions that you've been stuck in. The 111 is like your mind going, well, like, this is too good to be true. If you're questioning if there's more to life, the 111 is going to let you know that yes, you are coming out of the matrix, you're having that spiritual awakening, it's talking to you. In the group, people were saying, like, okay, but Claire, I'm seeing 222, 333, 444. Like, what do they mean? 1234. What do they mean? I'm like, here's a resource. And if you check out my website, I've got all of the numbers there of the angel numbers that will give you the meaning and the message of what you're seeing. Did you know you can assign a number to a meaning? You don't have to be a sheep and do what everybody else is doing. You can assign a number and put its meaning to it. So for me, if I was seeing the number 46, it's like, oh, okay, I've got to call mum. If I see the number 27, I've got to call my husband. And so I have a dance with the universe. They know my library, my guides know what I want to see. And so I'm not having to control and do all the things. They have their job and they let me know with hints. Okay, your intuition is working, like, yes, follow that 27. And you'll see it on receipts or number plates or whatever else. Truth be told, they cheat the system a bit. And like, that's my old car, but like my number plates are my special numbers and my passwords are my other special numbers and my email is my special numbers because I remember that. Like, it's always fun. Now, be a bit dynamic with the way that you are looking out for your sign. You said to your team, okay, show me your rainbow to know that I'm on the right path. And then a friend serves you rainbow cake with sprinkles. There it is. It didn't need to be in the sky. It's being served to you. I know a story where I was house hunting and I said, team, show me a duck if like I'm supposed to get this. I went to my heart space, I want a duck. I've got a duck tattooed on me too. Being mother duck of 4 daughters was like, I need that reminder when things get tough. Like, no, we love them. 4 teenage girls. But yeah, house hunting once, and I saw lacy duck curtains in the kitchen. And I was like, okay, that's undeniable. I'm going to get this house. And I did. So yeah, ask for the signs and expect to see them in unconventional places. Oh, National Morris. And the other clear sign that things are on their way to you is you actually start to see them everywhere around. So when I was manifesting in my King Charles Cavalier, my Morris, I was spotting them everywhere. Everyone suddenly was walking their Cavaliers. I was seeing Cavalier posters in windows at shops and in fabrics, and it was just like, this is nuts. And then Mr. Morris arrived. It was like, yay! And we since got Daisy and Richie. So yeah, 3 Cavaliers, but 3 is enough. So to wrap up here, to check in with you, what is your sign that you're asking for today? Are you looking out for the 111s? Are you looking out for the ladybirds or the dragonflies, the white feathers, the coins, the blue glass, the butterflies? What sign are you asking for? And then go out and be like Peter Pan and be playful in the way that you go and find it. Because the more playful you get, the more you dance the dance of being in that childlike curiosity, the funner life gets. And then you start to notice the signs even more. And then you start to like, okay, well, if I can see this, what else can I see? And then you start to challenge and get the belief, yes, manifesting's working. If I can manifest in the feathers, I can also manifest in the money. And then you're in that sense of excitement, pursuing your passion, feeling really good. And as I always say, if this has stirred up some deep truths within you, trust your intuition, subscribe, go check out my website for those angel numbers and all of the other resources there to help you thrive. You don't have to push harder in life, you just need to know what to work on to get results. I am Claire Chancellor, and I look forward to our next conversation. Bye, guys.